Rye, and rye once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Today, I'm back with whole grain of the day, the one and only rye. Now, maybe you've heard of rye in terms of the catcher in the rye, right? Or maybe you've heard of rye in terms of pumpernickel bread, right? Well, however you've heard of it before, chances are you're correct. So guys, please listen on. Why? Because we're about to dive very, very deeply into the wonderful world of rye. All right, first up, just a little bit of background information. Rye is a grass grown extensively as a grain, a cover crop, and a forage crop. Nice. It is a member of the wheat tribe and is closely related to barley and wheat. Rye grain is used for flour, bread, beer, crisp bread, some whiskeys, some vodkas, and animal fodder. Now, you probably know what whiskey is, you probably know what vodka is, but chances are you have no idea what animal fodder is. Well, in case you're wondering, animal fodder is simply another way for saying animal feed. Okay, that's all. And lastly, rye can also be eaten whole, either as boiled rye berries or by being rolled, similar to rolled oats. So there you have it, guys. Just a little bit of background information about the famous rye. All right, now it's time for a few fun facts. Or maybe these facts aren't so fun for a few people. Here we go. Like wheat and barley, rye contains the dreaded gluten. Oh no, say it ain't so, Coach D. That's right, guys. Rye, just like wheat and barley, contains gluten, which makes it an unsuitable grain for consumption by people with gluten-related disorders such as celiac disease, non-celiac gluten sensitivity, and wheat allergies. Oh man. So yes, here's a quick rule of thumb for you to remember. If a to know whether or not a whole grain contains gluten. If it's wheat, if it's barley, and if it's rye, then yes, it contains gluten. So please just try to remember those three. Wheat, barley, and rye all contain the protein gluten. All right, now it's time to dive into the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 520 rule is all about food labels. Basically, it helps us understand how to read and understand a food label. Technically, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether or not a food item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, in order to apply the 520 rule to any particular food, we have to be able to understand percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV, which basically lets us know the percentage of which a food item provides of a particular nutrient. So let's take a look at our sample diagram. Notice that the percent DV information is highlighted in a nice lavender color, right? And then we have nutrients that are highlighted in yellow, and then we have other nutrients that are highlighted in blue. Now, take a look at the nutrients that are highlighted in yellow. Total fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Now, there are certain nutrients, such as these, that you definitely do not want a lot of. Why? Because they contribute to the big four: diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and obesity. Now, take a look at the nutrients that are highlighted in blue. Dietary fiber, vitamins and minerals. Well, believe it or not, those are the nutrients that you do want to get a lot of. Why? Because they do just the opposite of the top three. They help to fight the big four. So there you have it, guys. Now, let's just dive a little deeper into the 520 rule. So, if a food item offers anywhere from 0% to 9%, then it is not a good source of that particular nutrient. If it offers 10% to 19%, then it is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if a food item offers 20% or greater, then it is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are now fully aware of the 520 rule. All right. So now that we know all about the 520 rule, let's now talk about the nutrition facts of rye. So today we're going to say that a single serving of rye is 1 cup. There you have it. So in this 1 cup, we're going to get 571 calories. Nice. Total fat is only at 4% DV. So that means that 1 cup of rye is not a good source of fat. So for those of us who are trying to lose a little bit of weight, guess what? Rye is definitely on plate for you. Next up is cholesterol. Now notice something. Cholesterol comes in at 0% DV. Now, what does that simply mean? Rye is definitely not a good source of cholesterol. So that's a good thing. And I also want to stress this, and I need to make sure you comprehend this, is that all plant foods do not contain cholesterol. That's right, guys. Cholesterol only comes from animal products, such as meat, cheese, eggs, yogurt, and milk. So there you have it. Plant foods do not contain cholesterol. Next up is potassium, coming in at 24% DV. So that means that rye is an excellent source of potassium. Then we have total carbs coming in at 42%. Great. So rye is an excellent source of carbohydrates. Now take a look at fiber, coming in at a whopping 104%. Wow. So basically this means two things. Number one, rye is an excellent source of fiber. And number two, 1 cup of rye is going to provide you with all the fiber your body needs in not only a single serving. That's right. So for the rest of the day, you can actually consume no more fiber. Why? Because you just got your daily dosage just by eating 1 cup of cooked rye. Next up, protein, coming in at 17 grams, which is equivalent to 34% DV. That's right. So only 1 cup of rye is an excellent source of protein. And you didn't think plant foods had protein. Next up is calcium, coming in at only 4%. So rye isn't necessarily a good source of calcium. Then we have iron coming in at 24%. It's an excellent source. Vitamin B6, 25%. Excellent source of B6. And lastly is magnesium, coming in at 46%. So yes, guys, rye is an excellent source of magnesium. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the nutrition facts of rye. All right, now it's time to dive into the health benefits. But before we do, Coach D wants to let you in on a little secret. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there is an ancient wisdom out there. Now, it happens to be called the principle of cause and effect. Now, some people may know this as one of the laws of the natural universe, or some people may know it as one of the 7 hermetic principles. Basically, the principle of cause and effect states that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. Luck and chance are simply a misunderstanding of the principle of cause and effect. In other words, there is no such thing as chance, there is no such thing as luck. Instead, everything happens for a reason. So that being said, what I want to let you know is that when we talk about the nutrition facts, or shall we say the nutrient content of rye, well, those are the causes. Right now, the effects happen to be the health benefits. So if you want to experience these health benefits, then it's very simple. Eat more rye. So health benefit number 1, helps with weight loss. Number 2, increases the efficiency of your digestive system. Very good. It helps prevent gallstones. It lowers your risk of diabetes. It lowers your blood pressure. It protects your cardiovascular health, helps prevent various types of cancer, and it lowers the chances of developing childhood asthma. So there you have it, guys. Those are the health benefits of consuming rye. All right. Now it's time to talk about food, specifically vegan food, no doubt. Guys, say hello to Naturally Ella. Naturally Ella is a website that is dedicated to the consumption of vegan foods. So I did just a little bit of research and I came across 2 amazing vegan rye recipes on Naturally Ella. The first one is rye maple muffins. Take a look at the picture. Looks delicious. Now the second recipe is sprouted rye berries and roasted cauliflower bowl. Looks amazing. Now here's the thing. If you are inclined to make these dishes, taste these dishes, and share these dishes with your friends and your family members, then all you have to do is click on the description box. Why? Because I've included a direct link. Now, if you go check out the link, it's going to provide you with some good information, such as instructions, ingredients, and cooking time. And that's all you basically need to know in order to make these dishes. Now, here's something else that I need you to do for me, is that if you decide to make them and taste them, please let Coach D know how it tastes in the description, in the comment box below. All right, so perhaps me sharing those two recipes with you have somehow motivated you to start eating more plants, right? And so you may be thinking, all right, Coach D, so when should I eat this rye, right? So like, what is the best day? What is the best time? Well, guys, if you're wondering, the best day to eat more rye is going to be Nature Day. That's right. Yes, Nature Day. Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, what is the challenge? Well, the 23% challenge is a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships, and help save planet Earth, all at the same time and in only 1 week. That's right, guys, 7 days. Now, here's the interesting thing about the 23% challenge, is that it is the first 7 days of every single month. Now, here's the thing. Nature Day happens to be the first day of the challenge, which simply means that Nature Day is the first day of every single month. So whether it's August 1st, September 1st, or even January 1st, it's always Nature Day. All right. Now, some of us are probably intrigued. Maybe I've piqued your interest about Nature Day, and maybe you want to try it. Well, guys, Nature Day is all about getting closer to nature. Now, yes, there are thousands upon thousands of things that you can do to get closer to nature, but Coach D wants to offer a suggestion. Let's get closer to nature by simply eating it. That's right, let's eat what nature provides. In other words, eat more plants. That's our 3-word mantra. Now, maybe you're considering transitioning to a more whole food plant-based diet, or maybe you just want to eat more plants. Well, Coach D now wants to offer a few avenues of possibilities. So I first want to introduce to you what a 3% vegan is. A 3% vegan is anyone, man, woman, or child, who decides to eat only plant foods and drink only water only 1 day out of an entire month. Now, because it's only 1 day, you may want to make it Nature Day, which once again is the first day of the month. Now, the second type is a 13% vegan, which basically means it's a person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 4 days out of an entire month. Now, that could be the first 4 days of the month, or if a month has 4 weeks, then it could be 1 day per week. So however you want to do it, please do it. And lastly, we have a 23% vegan, which is what Coach D considers himself to be. Now, what do I eat, right, while being a 23% vegan, which by the way is the first 7 days of every single month? Well, I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods, and they happen to be all fruits, all vegetables and herbs, all legumes, meaning beans and peas, all whole grains, right? And also, I just forgot it. So let me go back through them. Fruits, vegetables and herbs, beans and peas, meaning legumes, all whole grains. Oh, and we can't forget about nuts and seeds. So there you have it, guys. Try to become a 3%, 13%, or a 23% vegan. Trust me, you'll do the body good. All right, now Coach D wants to offer you just a few tips so that you can have a very successful Nature Day. Tip number one is for you to go visit your local grocery store. Now, when you go in the grocery store, all you're going to do is hang out in the produce section. Why? Because that's where all the fresh plant foods are located. Now, you can also go down the grocer's freezer because there you're going to find frozen fruits, frozen vegetables, and frozen legumes. And believe it or not, the frozen options are just as nutritious as the fresh options are. Tip number two, go visit a farmer's market. Now, there are lots of advantages to visiting a farmer's market. For instance, because the produce is grown locally, that simply means that the produce is going to be organic, right? Because the thing about farmers markets is that they only accept produce that is grown locally and organically. Now, also, because the produce is grown locally, that means less transit time. And that translates to less pesticides and less herbicides being used on the products. And thirdly, because there's less transit time, meaning less transportation time, that also saves the farmers gas, which then they pass the savings on to the end consumer, meaning you and me. Next up, go back to the local grocery store, but this time, rather than go to the produce section and or the grocer's freezer section, let's go to the prepared dishes section, because over there, they have lots of prepared cooked vegan options, right? So maybe you've never visited the prepared dishes section of the grocery store. Just walk on over there, talk to the person behind the counter, ask them if they have any vegan or vegetarian options, do a quick taste test, and hopefully you like it, and then purchase your food by the pound or maybe even 2 pounds. My last tip for a successful Nature Day is for you to go visit a vegan restaurant. But don't just visit them, actually sit down, enjoy the ambience, say hello to people, and of course, eat the food. Now, believe it or not, vegan restaurants are amazing. Why? Because they employ vegan chefs who know how to cook plant foods, number one, and then they also know how to combine plant foods to give you the best nutrient content and also the best tasting combinations. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 4 tips for you to have a successful Nature Day. All right, it's time for our question of the day, and it comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% Nation. We want to know, which rye recipe do you prefer? Was it the first one, the second one, or maybe, just maybe, you know of a vegan rye recipe that you would like to share with us? So, whether you want to take one of mine or share one of yours, please write your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign off, I gotta ask you to please subscribe, like, and share the video, especially if you love rye. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag eat more plants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. Always remember to take care, God bless, and never ever forget that Coach D loves you.